Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, Florida. Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, Florida.
Welcome to We Listen But We Do Not Judge podcast, talking about all things lifestyle and relationships. Our objective is every single story to transform lives. My name is Miss Jackie 254. Welcome. In the previous video, we actually found out that Casper used to be telling Coco on how to fast and pray as they're actually dating. Because now we need to know, did Coco cheat after being told to fast and pray in this episode? Well. I've been fast forwarding this narrative of Coco and Casper. Remember, by the time they were meeting or the time they started dating, I said they had a difference of 15 years. She was 25 and the man was, Casper was 39. And you see, at 25, I said a lady starts maturing and wants to settle down. So from the word go, let me tell you, because you'll understand where I'm getting this conversation to. At 25, the mind of a woman is ready to settle down, to be honest. The brain is functioning like you can settle down as a woman and become a mother or nurture a home very well maturely. You're mature enough to hold the responsibilities of a woman or a wife. But for sometimes, men, sorry to say, men drag behind in their, actually, men are always dragging like 1 year behind because brain of a woman functions very fast compared to a man. Sorry to say so. So Coco at this age of 25, she was really ready to settle down, and Casper, I don't think he was ready, or he was dragging because he was 39, He was 39. So by the time he is just telling Coco to focus on being to praying and fasting, Coco didn't take this kindly, and also the fact she really feels like she wants to nurture a home and nurture a family, it didn't sit well with her. It didn't augur well. But at that moment, you'll understand where I'm getting to this in this episode. At that moment, she never saw this. She was so blinded by love. I think they call it love bombing. She was so much in love with this Casper to the point she was blind to some things. You see, those things that happen to you and you're like, no, this person can do this person can do that. And mark you, Casper is a PA to the pastor of the church. He's a mtumishi. In Kenya we say mtumishi. He's a mtumishi pale in church, and he's like I said, he's a leader. And so Coco would think this religious man cannot harm a fly, and has nothing going on that is wrong. So by this time, she is having this feeling like she wanna get jiggy and she wanna freak in the sheets. It's the stage of like feeling like she would really want to nurture, like get a child and be wifed. Because I'm saying by the time they're on these levels of being church, following each other. They're on the level now, even the church leaders or the pastors of the church already know they're dating, and like we say, under the roof and religious stuff. We will talk some other time, but yes, by this time Coco was actually into this person, like, you know, he's my ride or die, and I'm in for whatever. Like, he cannot hammer a fly, you get. So this time, because of love, she was blinded, and she couldn't see anything. She couldn't see anything wrong with Casper. But let me tell you, the reason of Casper kept on saying that Coco to actually fast and pray, he cannot knock her. It's because, you remember, he kept on saying fasting and praying. A brother in church, I'm sorry to say, you're religious people. You're religious people. So far, I'm very cautious. These people who hide under the church and all these spiritual and all these religious, they usually lack something. That's why from the beginning I said sometimes people hide in religious umbrellas or homes or churches for the sake of acting like they're okay, but they're insane. So I digress. A church brother was actually telling Casper to have a thing with some PA and usher of the pastor. Despite Coco and Casper doing a thing, a brother was trying to stab Coco behind her back by giving Casper another woman. And somehow, like, Casper is foolish enough, can be led by, he has no principle, something. Because I can say he has no principle, because why would you let somebody sit down knowingly push a woman towards you and you entertain that conversation, given that the fact you are in a relationship? You see the things I'm saying? Coco couldn't see these situationships that were getting ugly in the name of religion or being a church person. So Casper was pushed forth by a church brother or a brother in Christ, some lady for him to have a relationship with. And it didn't occur that much to Coco, because, you see, I mean, this is church, you know. My Casper cannot harm a fly, and he is a PA of the pastor, and he's actually working there at the front. He's an altar boy. We call them altar boys. He's an altar boy. He cannot do anything. He cannot harm a fly. So what is the fuss? You know, she's being mature. Coco is just being mature in this case, like, you brush it off and all that. Now what happened is Casper became even a youth leader. Now he has more responsibility, because he looks more responsible, and, you know, all this stuff in the church. Coco notices that sometimes the vice of Casper would DM him and ask for money for housing. Yo, why would if I was Coco there by then, I would, oh my god, I would go nuts. But Coco couldn't understand how a woman, a vice chair lady of Casper, would ask for house rent, yet this vice has a boyfriend or husband or something. Why are you asking someone else boo money? Yo, those are the red flags that she couldn't curate in her brain, because she's like, oh, it's a sister in Christ. It's a sister in Christ. My hubby or my boo, as we speak, as at the moment, these are temptations that she was going through, because already at the point of this level of the relationship where they're getting intimate, I forgot to tell you guys, she had already been engaged by Casper. You get? So this is something that even the pastor of the church knows, that Casper and Coco are an item in their relationship and they have something going on. So I mean, you get. But there were some elements of question marks, and you see, most of the time, I don't know how to call this. I don't want to use that word. Most of the time, people will say narcissistic, but yeah, it's a narcissistic behavior because manipulation. Casper has made it so public to look like he's a good guy. He's a very nice guy in front of the public. To the point, if it is Coco misbehaving, it would be blamed. It must be Coco, because it must be Coco the problem, because this Casper is actually godly and an altar boy working for the pastors, and he cannot harm a fly. So probably because Coco is the one who's not looking this religious, to the point she's not, of course you would have thought that Coco is the naughty one in the relationship, so Casper is the holier than thou in the relationship. So she couldn't curate the red flags, but she could see from afar. When you're in a toxic relationship, you don't see this. And we say we listen, but we don't judge, and we learn from these stories. Now Coco couldn't see this coming. She blushed it off like this is not she brushed it off because this is not a big deal, that my person is actually chatting with other church members, and there are so queer things that were happening, but she couldn't take it so seriously. They even had fights, conversation like, why is this person calling you this time? Coco actually even called, what do we call it? How do we say this? Coco actually called Casper on called out Casper on the issue to do with these church brothers and sisters who are busy, bringing this relationship thing to, whenever you have a good relationship going on, not everybody is happy for you. So she tried to call out Casper, and Casper tried to make her feel it's not a big deal, it's not a big issue. We are just serving the Lord, and we are in this together. So Coco just swept that under the carpet. Little did she know, she's just entertaining a lot of toxic masculinity in her life that would later on affect her in some way, because one thing, this person love bombs her. The second thing is that he never actually looked like he can harm a fly, because I forgot to tell you guys that Coco was very, very. The personality of Coco is, she's social, she's talkative, she's this bubbly lady, and this Casper is actually introverted, and this quote unquote calm persona. Now this personality of Coco actually started getting diminished, or I don't know how to put this out, like being suppressed, actually being suppressed by this persona of Casper, because Casper is this personality out here. You would think he's the king of the kings, like gentleman and all that, but deep down, Coco is hurting. Coco is hurting, and she cannot be able to open up because who will believe her anyway? And this man seems to be treating her like a queen. This man seems to be like responsible. And remember, guys, this time as all this is happening, she's not living together. They were not living together. Everybody is living on their own terms, but still, somehow, Coco, because of the love she has for Casper, and this is the man of his life, of her life, uh, couldn't pick anything that is looking queer from Casper. And the relationship went going for quite some time with all these hula baloos in the church. At some point, they even got to a level they don't want to even to talk to each other because it was too much, and the man doesn't want to be told. And lessons in this story, actually, I picked one, two, three lessons, like a manipulative person actually makes you look like you're insane, you're mad. Because she started having self-esteem issues and losing touch with the friends, and having like losing connection with people that she really cared, and she started losing herself unknowingly. And a narcissistic human being or a toxic relationship can make you feel like you're mad, like you don't know what you're doing. Because you see, she would see the red flags, but because of the love bombing she's being given, she couldn't see this coming. She couldn't curate these things in her head, like, yo, this person, there's something that is not sitting right. Because you remember, this started with, oh, we are practicing celibacy, oh, and then Casper was always procrastinating things and always telling her, things will be okay, there's nothing to worry about, we will fix issues. He was always giving those lies of intimacy, we wait upon God and all that. He was always giving Coco lies, but Coco somehow couldn't see. And it's very important, women out here, we be able to know, to be woke in our own personalities. Don't let somebody define or validate you, because that is what exactly Coco was being done to by Casper, because she expected validation from Casper, and Casper would really know her weaknesses and manipulate her through that. Because clearly, Coco was ready for marriage. Coco was ready to settle down. But Casper was more of like wasting time. Because how would you even entertain women that you're being pushed, shoved over by your quote unquote? Actually, they were not quote unquote, they were brother in Christ, in a sense of like, oh, making this look like they are more prayerful than Coco. You remember I told you guys, he's a leader in church, and there's this notion of like, a leader in church should get married to some spirit speaking, or what do you call, spirit filled women. If it is vice versa, if it is a woman who's spirit filled, should marry a pastor or something. So there was this mentality whereby these brothers and sisters in Christ would try to make Casper think that Coco is not religious, Coco is not spiritual, and him stupidly would, because I can say he was stupid. Honestly, he was stupidly stoop to those ideas, ideology, and beliefs of those brother advices, and couldn't stand on his ground. So from the word go, it clearly shows that is a man who's not um forthright, right? Yeah. He wasn't forthright. That is a personality which is risky. And that is how things were going for Coco. And in silence, she couldn't be able to tell people what is really going on. And the fact that she was suppressed, she would keep quiet. And that is how they kept this relationship in intimacy in the name of religion, the name of religion, and using God's name in vain. Because I don't understand how Casper wouldn't be able to get jiggy with Coco, but the brothers in Christ would be able to forward girlfriends, and he would be obliged to receive those texts and actually even try to act like husband to one of those vices of the church, the vice chair lady of the youth leader group, and be able to be like sponsoring her on house rent while he couldn't be able to manage Coco. I mean, Casper was just a strange, and there's so many Caspers out here, there are so many Caspers out here who actually can't be able to have Jerusalem in their own homes, but they are able to act like they're so good outside, and that is a very manipulative character. What what character are you? Where do you stand? Are you the kind of Casper or Coco's? Because Coco as well was able to shrink herself because of this love thing. She was love bombed. She was genuinely and loyal to Casper, but Casper would take advantage of that loyalty and take her for a fool for that reason of using religion. So stick around for episode 4 as we get to know what went down. Did Coco end up opening her eyes? Did they get married? Or did things just decide to go south altogether? Stick around and we find out on Coco and Casper's love story.